west, there's Fort Helmuth, and there's a quarry up there too. Arvishal, of course, is the big one to the east.
If you were going to like the next city over, how long of a travel on the train would it have been? About thereabouts.
I got a table for that. I also want to go over what you're doing in town too, Chaz.
Bastard.
All right, let's see.
My guy doesn't know how to use the magic he has. So be careful.
Make sure y'all got medical kits, right? Somebody's got.
Yeah, I have a healer's guy.
Yeah, you guys.
He hasn't figured out how to use his magic.
Old Bell's got
Try
healing
never
word
to
too.
get hit, like I was telling you earlier with all.
So to get to Arvishal, it depends on the type of train you're on. You can get cheap fare on a cargo train that's a lot slower, but like a typical passenger rail, it takes about 8 hours to get to Arvishal.
8 hours to get to Arkansas from
Morrow.
Morrow.
Yep. And that is roughly 400 miles. It goes roughly 50 miles per hour. And it's
Good enough.
eight gold marks to get to Arvishal.
I see.
If you're riding on a cargo train, it's 4. And obviously, if you are fucking hoboing it, you know what I mean. You can just try to sneak onto a cargo train and ride it. Like that is always an option. But obviously, it's very similar to real life, where if the station marshal guy sees you, that's definitely a crime. Yep. Fort Helmuth is, I think I have that down as only 4 hours, I think, to get over there.
This cherry lemonade is great, Alex. It's actually
Try that.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
All right, Chaz. So your character is Chazara.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I get the right permutation of Chaz there. So how long do you think you have been in Morrow?
I don't know. Long enough probably to set up my shop
Yeah.
and get to know maybe any of the local any monasteries or like temples because I'm a monk.
Yeah, so there's one dominant religion in Morrow, and that is the Concordant Creed. They have a giant cathedral in the center of town. Unless you are, and you would have figured this out fairly quickly, that is the only accepted religion. You can have your own personal practices, but if you tried to set up another temple, the authorities would arrest you.
I would have just offered my services to them, help around the temple maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And just get to know the guys that are there and stuff like that.
Very interesting. You would have run into Vicar Amelie. Vicar Amelie is the head of the church, and she, if you would have offered your services, they would have been more than happy to. They would honestly probably give you room and board if you would help out around the place. If that sounds like a decent offer to you.
God.
And you, so what is important from a religion to you? What is Chazara's focus of his spirituality?
He doesn't really follow nothing too much. The monastery he was from did a little bit, but he don't really he just sees it more of okay, worship your God, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Is it a path to inner peace? Is it more
He don't knock it, and it's not that he isn't a believer, but he's God hasn't came down and saved me yet. It's been his weapon, type deal.
Yeah,
not God.
Uh-huh.
So
I get that.
he understands that something's there. He doesn't know what, but
Okay.
But in his monk ways, he wants to be able to kind of give back, and I guess to that it'd be part of his spirituality, where he's more of combative instead of
Yeah.
So this is his way to kind of balance the two.
Yeah, and look, Concordia is a god of war. She also can be
well,
a god of peace. So the whole deal with Concordia, and you would have picked this up working. Their whole belief system is that Concordia is the only god. All other gods are simply misplaced fragments of her power. So if there's a god of, god of the forge somewhere, that god is simply part of Concordia's power, which has been stolen by calling it a heretic name, by saying, we're calling this guy, I worship Baphomet, but they're actually, really that is part of Concordia. And if you can stop those people from worshiping that heretic god, and then Concordia can then take that facet as one of her own. So she has many, many aspects. So if there's anything that is particular to your character and what they're interested in, there's a good chance that Concordia is also got that.
Yeah, possibly. I would have learned about it. I would have listened to him. Maybe talk about it. So
They probably wouldn't have like monetarily paid you, but they would have offered you like
Like a
food and board if you need
could I
it.
have set up my lantern place there, or outside of it, nearby?
I don't know how they'd feel about that.
If not, I was thinking more of the poplars.
I think honestly you could easily set up your lantern store over there.
I mean, it's a little far away, but you know what? That's like dead center of like populace. It looks like so,
It is, yeah, and it's the working class populace there in
Yeah,
Poplar.
and I'd make it cheap too for the working class.
Yeah, there you go. So I don't know. You want to say you've been here like a month? Is that
That sounds like that's okay. I reckon. Good enough to set up my stand and kind of get established with the Concordian people
awesome?
as friends. You know.
Yeah, give
And
me.
I'll do stuff like for them. Like I said, I'll go out around the temple, whatever they need.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, they also see this as like a teaching opportunity. They don't necessarily expect you to be a perfect, devoted. You're very much whatever the very baseline level of initiate, kind of like assist, volunteer weekend.
Or an outside
Concordia.
observer to their stuff, like I'm just there observing and in return helping because we share the same kind of like vibes,
Yeah.
aspect.
I'm sure they wouldn't. Again, as long as you aren't like grabbing their congregation, being like, "Hey, I have a different God than this one," they wouldn't care.
Yeah, no. I would respect them
Cool.
if their
And
beliefs and
now I'm
values.
curious. Mel has also been in Morrow for about 5 months. He has been looking for people to commission murals for him. I don't know if that would have you guys would have ran into each other.
Oh, like to do paintings?
Because he's got a lantern store. I know that you mentioned getting him to maybe do a sign for you.
Yeah, maybe when I find him, unless you're trying to say if I've already done it, maybe.
If you want to already have a relationship with him, you could have gotten him to, because it wouldn't have taken too long. And then
You could have found Mel if you ever go to the Ricky Raven.
yeah. So the Rickety Raven, you can actually zoom back in.
Is that a tavern?
Armor.
Yeah. So the Rickety
So I
Raven
was
is
gonna
like
say I spend time in there a lot too.
Is
On
that
my,
real
like
deep?
the nights that I'm off, or like I'm done
Uh-huh.
with my service
Yep.
there and or my stuff.
So since you've been there, probably
Those are
for the most
killing
part,
eyes
or
right
at least
there,
a couple days a week, you'll see a guy who does frequent paintings and like
you want to zoom it
sketches,
back into the closer.
like quick sketches, like
Okay.
of people. of, like,
Whenever he
just like
is
full
in
color
armor,
and
he
everything
gets
involved.
he gets a little
Like he,
crazy eye syndrome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
I would have probably.
he's really
asked-
busy. He looks like he kind of hums too as well while he's doing it. It depends on like how crowded it is, and sometimes every now and again you'll catch a wild. You'll hear him singing, and he's like, I don't know. You might think he's pretty good. That's up to you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
If he had showed me any of his paintings while we hung out in the bar and talked, I would have asked him. Yeah, I'd been like, hey, I'll throw you a few shillings to
Yeah.
to paint me a little logo for my.
He would
letters,
paint you either a logo or he would paint you like at like what you look like and stuff like that.
You can paint me with a lantern. Holding one or something.
That's completely up to you.
Okay.
Like it's like yeah. However you want it, he can probably come up with something that you want to see.
Yep, I love that. And as you have been setting up your lantern shop, you have noticed that a couple people have come up and told you, like, hey, you might want to get like a permit for this. They might come for you if you were setting up a business without it. But you haven't been hassled by anybody. Would you have gone out of your way to try to get a permit?
Maybe on my off time, I'd have swung by wherever the.
There's like an
City Hall or
imperial
something.
administration building where all the bureaucracy happens. But if you would have gone, you would have tried to make an appointment, and they never would have reached back out to you. It just kind of would have gotten lost.
I would imagine it wouldn't have been too important to him then.
So it doesn't seem like it, at least right now. So I figured that
All of these guys try to
That-
hassle me about my stand. These like cronies, these little gang members of the town.
which one? What do you?
Oh, I'm thinking like these guys that you said approached me. I'm feeling like they're not part of the whatever they're warning me.
okay.
They're like
Yeah.
probably part of some group, and they don't want me setting up here. Maybe
I
that's
mean,
what I'm thinking. Is
they don't really seem like they're trying to strong arm you. And above the table, typically you should not be able to do this, but the rules have become more and more lax over the past month you've been here. And a lot of that is due to the rumors that the Empire is backing out of this area. So you think that some of the pencil pushers that normally would be checking permits and making sure people have you know, the being allowed to do that. I've just kind of been focused on other things.
If they move me, I'll just go outside the town somewhere.
Yeah, that would be fun too. No, but you get away with it. Nobody seems to give you any trouble.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we need to eat? What's going on with the food schedule?
I need to go cut up the brisket, and then we should be good to
Are
go.
we trying? Because I think this is other than I think we're basically ready to get rolling D wise. But if we are going to break in like 20 minutes to eat food anyway, we'll go ahead and eat. I figure.
Yeah, I'm
Unless
down
we're
for
waiting
that.
on, or waiting on your mom.
Nah, we ain't got to wait on it.
Okay.
She might just know she might bring something later.
Yeah. No, I think it makes sense that the two of you would have run into each other.
Yeah. What's your character look like then?
He's kind of tall, probably about 6, almost 6 foot, a little bit. Not too muscular, but I mean you can't see him right now because of what he's wearing. But,
Oh, she's here.
he's a little muscled up. He wears like the traditional kind of samurai like garb, like not armor wise, but like the kimono looking thing.
Yeah.
Type thing. I don't know what it's called, but not a kimono, but you know that's like more of a, I don't know, more like the. You ever seen Samurai X?
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin?
Yeah.
Where he wore like that kind of long sleeve
I
thing,
get what you got by now.
and then he wears like an overcoat, like a cloak thing that comes together all the way down to like his feet. So you can't really, when he moves, you can't really see his feet moving. It looks like he's just kind of hovering, but he's not. Well, but you see the shade, you know, because of the movement. But then he has a shade, like the farmer shade, with the samurai.
It's a half elf, right?
Like a red hat. No, I don't know what that is. I think they're elves, but let me double check that.
Yeah, those astral elves or whatever.
No, it was the
Oh.
shot.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Shadow elves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say being a shadow elf around here, I think people would look at you a little sideways sometimes. They might think you're a drow. Because, like, do you have a kind of like purpley dark skin, like drow-ish colors, or?
Yeah.
A little bit, but I got but I'm all dressed up where you can't see my, like to stay inconspicuous. Not because of
Okay.
that,
Yeah.
but just because I want to kind of hide my alias, like to like where I stand out in a sense of like
Mhm.
how I do hide myself.
Yeah.
But in a sense, you don't really know under the because I'm what I was telling him. I got like a Raiden hat, like from
Oh, yeah.
Street
Sick,
Fighter.
sick.
I mean, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
And it's got like a little like kind of like veil for like my religion.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
around,
Uh-huh.
and you can't see my face. I mean, and I can kind of see through, but I got the dark vision and whatever. But I can
Yeah.
see through it a little bit better than you can see in it. And
Yeah, another thing, Moro isn't like, it's not like they get a lot of people from all over the place. People, the Empire is vast. There's a lot of reasons for anybody to be over here for whatever reason. So, it is not super, it's not like everybody's staring at you, but, you know, people probably look at you a little sideways if they haven't ever seen a monk like you.
the Concordia people would have seen me because when I come into there
Yeah.
as a thing of my religion and respect of theirs, I'll take it off.
Yeah.
You can see my face, but I'll wear everything else and just walk
Yeah,
around.
that makes sense.
And it hides my sword too, like underneath my coat. You can't really
Yeah.
see it.
Cool.
Everything's hidden. I just look like a person with a
Yeah,
coat.
I like it. I like it. But yes, the Rickety Raven is the tavern in the center of town, and it's kind of the most happening thing. Mel's apartment is over here. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other things
Could I-
to see.
Could I have done jobs for the rickety place to stay, have room and board there? Because the only reason I would like room, I'll stay with the Concordia if I have to, but
Yeah.
but because of my background of like my jobs, I do certain things and maybe people
Mm-hmm.
I get involved with, I wouldn't want to
We'll
cause
finish
that
this. We'll
problems
double
for the
X now.
church.
We'll finish this
Yeah.
here in a minute.
But if I have to stay there, I would because I'm not started any trouble yet.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
as you know.
Yeah, I know. It's okay,
So-
whatever.
So, but and plus, because I got my gear, I keep my wherever I am staying in
Yeah.
my room. I keep my gear for when I do
Mhm.
missions. I'll go change like
Sure.
Batman.
Yeah, there you go. I
Oh,
don't know. I mean, go ahead.
sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
That's okay.
You keep going. Do it with whatever chat.
Oh, no,
no,
I was-
Okay, yeah. Well, I was just saying, the Rickety Raven is very much like they are a money-focused establishment, right? They got workers already for that. They would like But I don't know if I wonder if they could hook you up. Like,
I could use the money I'm making from helping the church out to pay them.
yeah, I mean, they're instead. If you wanted to do that instead, that would make more sense.
And then my lantern would be like passive, just
Mhm.
the passive income.
I mean, or even if you wanted to use your lantern income for board, and then, I mean, Notre Concordia, they have like, I'm thinking almost kind of like, not quite like soup lines, but like, you know, like a big communal meal with all the people that are working. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. But if you wanted to be staying in the Raven, you could. They do have rooms for rent. I will let you know there is a train that runs in the middle of the business.
Like
So
right in the middle.
oh yeah, straight up. The word lover, and I'll describe it once we get in there. But yes, it would not be the quietest place to sleep. It is-
So I might stay at the Concordia. then.
yeah, it's genuinely it's up to you. There are like 2 towers. There's one over here that is more like where a lot of the people can stay. It's like, you know, communal barracks type rooms, and then the other one is a more like consecrated like leadership place. Hello, come on in. Good. How are you?
Hey, y'all having
Good to
fun
see you.
today?
Oh yeah, we're about to get started here. We still have a little bit of eating to do.
Just a little bit of eating.
Just a little bit of eating.
Where's your guy at, Alex?
He's going to be somewhere near that Pauper's Gate, probably at the inn or
You said where?
It's closest to the Pauper's Gate, over there on the right.
Oh, okay, yeah. I couldn't see it. It's off the screen.
So he'll probably be at the tavern that's closest to that. Because he's just basically hanging out, listening to other people, trying to figure out if there's like the whole rumor that the Empire is pulling out and leaving the land. Like he's trying to figure out if that's true or not. But he's not much of an investigator, so he's just going to be kind of hanging out, like eavesdropping on other people's conversations, trying to figure out if he can do that. Which is what I was going to ask.
Yes.
This guy's like a walking arsenal. Is this
Yeah.
town going to be like, hey, you can come in with all those weapons, or are they going to like check him at the door?
They're going to check you. Yeah, I mean, unless again, the Pauper's Gate, you have a much higher chance of just kind of being unnoticed.
Well, he's probably going to leave his javelins and his warfork like out in the woods.
Can we bring
Okay.
our weapons
In
in
that
town?
case, now he's still going to have.
It's frowned upon. It depends on the biggest thing we don't want you having is firearms. If you have, because that's what the Imperial Guard have is rifles. So if they see you come around with something equivalent to what they would have, that is where they really kind of get iffy. Really, they don't like you brandishing. That's the biggest thing. If you have concealed weapons, they typically don't bother you. But if you're bringing it out and threatening and doing stuff, then that becomes an issue.
Okay, so he's going to be trying to walk into this town with 2 weapons.
Okay.
One is concealed. It's just in a pouch. It's not cleverly hidden. On
Okay.
it. That's his blowgun.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he's got his blowgun in the pouch
Uh-huh.
with the needles, and then he has a machete.
Okay.
I'm using short sword stacks,
Yeah.
but he's got a machete. Like,
Okay.
he's probably going to assume that the machete is fine.
Yeah.
But he also carries at least 3 javelins, which as I
Yeah.
use them, I'll replace them.
Sure.
But he carries javelins because they have topple,
Yeah.
and that's I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So he always carries at least 3 javelins, and he's got a pitchfork that I'm using Trident for as the like stats. But it's basically like it's somewhere between a pitchfork and
Yeah.
a warfork
Okay.
because like it's not really a full-blown warfork, but it's
Yeah.
more like a pitchfork that's just made way sturdier because it's made for the intent of stabbing people
Yeah.
with it.
That makes sense.
So yeah, but he would probably leave because it's hard. Those are big weapons, so
Yeah.
he's going to be leaving the pitchfork and the javelins
That
out
makes
in the
sense.
woods somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think that whatever you might catch some attention from like a guard who might kind of like you know add a little bit of extra suspicion to just see what you're doing here, because of the machete. But again, it's a tool. I mean, it'd be kind of like you go with like a woodsman axe or something around
Yeah.
town. Like it is plausibly deniable that you're using that for normal shit. And obviously, as long as you're machete hacking people in the streets.
He also has, because he wouldn't wear the full one in town because he knows that's going to draw attention. But he's going to be wearing his half mask, which basically looks kind of like a Hannibal Lecter mask, except it doesn't have the little.
Uh-huh.
It's just a leather
Yeah.
half mask
Okay.
because his face is. So he typically like that mask as much attention as it draws less attention than his face.
It would. Yeah. Damn.
But that's the only reason. That's the main reason that he's. I mean, that and just the fact that he's so big, he stands out.
Yeah.
But those are like the reasons why he's spent the last few years going all the way around. Because even if somebody's not really particularly paying attention, they still would probably remember a 6'10" dude with a fucking mask
Yeah.
around town.
Yep. I'm sure they would. Cool. And I'm sure, I bet you, if you've been in town before, I bet you've been to the Ricky Raven. It's like, they have these mutton pies that are like, think like shepherd's pie, like built in there, delicious.
That is something that when he does do his little supply runs to town, he always gets food.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even some local fuck with like a stew pot,
Yeah.
is gonna cook food that to him is a delicacy.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
He's used to burnt squirrel and raw carrots.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense. Well, there is like over there is a whole meat market that's set up by the Poppers District. So there is like a ton of fresh like cooked food around there, like street vendors, stalls, stuff like that. In town, there is more fancy kind of things. You bet you could not afford to eat it with those. It is like set course, very very extravagant dining. I think they have to have a like dress code, right? Like you got to be in casual. But also like a lot of people in town wear like suits.
Okay.
Like, leather loafers and like the bureaucrats and the fancy people that are over, especially here, like just to get you the vibe of like general clothing. People here, I mean, there's a lot of like overalls, think like kind of basic trousers and like whatever, just a fucking farmer's clothing, if you can imagine.
Yeah, that's kind of what he would be dressed in, like just like traveler's clothes.
Yeah.
That I mean, for this specific trip, he's cleaned the best he can.
Sure.
But yeah, it's like absolutely nothing fancy.
Mm.
Probably like a button-up canvas shirt or
Yeah,
something.
okay.
And then like a factory worker.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's kind of the stuff that he wears, except it's like more.
You'd fit in very well because
So
a
what
lot
is
of
the
people in the Poppers District work at the mill.
Okay.
So they're like lumber mill workers. If you are an actual lumberjack going out and doing like field work, you are at a much higher status than the like line workers like in the mill, like running saws and doing that like factory assembly kind of work. So there is kind of two classes to the lumber workers in town. But a lot of the ones, like, you'd fit in very well with the fact. People probably wouldn't look twice, other than you being huge and having that's good on that.
I'll have a good space to sleep.
There's also a lot of, like contract farm workers, basically, in that area, because a lot of the surrounding farmland is, a few are owned by independent groups, a lot of them have been bought up by, like, one central, it's Elysian Field Co., you probably know this. It's a corporation that owns a lot of land around there, and essentially leases it out to, like, farmers.
Okay.
Yeah, but they grow all kinds of stuff around. I mean, I have a list of all the crops that they grow.
Brisket's got up.
Oh yeah.
Good to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, coffee.
Oh, she's hiding in the bathroom.
Sorry, I just didn't drink coffee.
Yeah, I was trying to push me around about my lantern stand. And one guy's
Push around your lantern.
yeah, I'm gonna open up. I said, "I got your permit." I'm gonna open up my coat and flash my katana handle. And then put my coat back up. I got your permit.
Get your permit right here.
I didn't notice, Josh, but I probably could have, since I work, or I help out in the Concordia
Uh-huh.
and I'm in the Imperial stuff, I would have probably known about the permit or walked over and asked.
Yeah, probably. And again, you would have gotten like, okay, yeah, we'll follow these forms. Check back in a little bit, and then they just would have kind of kept giving me the runaround. And eventually, I would say about a week ago, you went in there because you had an appointment. Your date. You went in there, and the office was empty.
Like, nobody
Door was locked. You looked in the windows. It is even up to the furniture is empty.
My character already, being me, has a hunch that if they are pulling out, something's bad.
I was busy
Could be.
putting stuff up.
Something's about to go down.
Something could be about to go down, man.
Very well.
Whew.
Might be time to pack up the old lantern stand.
Yeah. Let me go.
Oh yeah, every single one.
Got some grub, Chad. Better get you in.
Okay.
That was super close. Go bees.
I think it's something like that. Because I went to, you would know if I was there at the table.
Uh-huh.
I went to the administrative building for about my permit on the lantern stand. They were acting kind of eerie about it. Like, another night there, and they blocked the door. So I think they are pulling out because something was about to happen. So it's
I'm there to bear witness to an investigation.
it's like, what?
I'll be there to bear witness if
You
they're
better fucking sing. That's what you better do. You better just, you better, I
I'll
don't
be
know.
there to paint the picture.
Yeah, I guess. That or one or the other.
I think it'll be quite the spectacle to, maybe one of them.
Maybe getting your ass out of there, man. That would be kind of
I don't think anything to me. You just gotta watch from afar, right?
Are you from afar?
Yeah, we should put
Where are you at?
I don't know. Depends
Exactly.
on where the stuff is.
Exactly.
Just here in my
Your ass is probably, you said you
The
can hang
rickety
out.
rickety
You said-
Raven.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Look where it's at. Dead center.
Yeah.
Dead center.
By the town squabble.
Come on,
and
man.
by the Twan School.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I live here right now.
For now.
Yeah. We'll see, Tom. That'd be the day one. Be too bad.
What's the capital of like this world?
Um,
I'm just in town already. It's called Moro. Josh made it.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks. That's a good question. I don't think I actually named the big capital because there is like a big mega capital city where the
Back-
empire is from.
Yeah, back on mainland
Mhm,
stuff.
in the
area.
Orient. 'Cause you guys are in the Occident. The Orient is the continent. Like it's an old world, new world, which is what I was doing until we've had that happen like 3 times now on our campaign. But both of these continents are under the Veiled Lands in the wider world. So this is actually on the same world as everything else. It has just been hidden away.
If I could eat like this every single day, I would not be a healthy man.
Nope.
I'd be thrown down. This is delicious. I don't think that's
Yeah,
what
it is.
3 words since I was already Beans excellent. Mac and cheese excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Brisket's excellent. The eggs and tea is excellent. I want to try that cherry lemonade next.
Cherry lemonade is in fact.
And I'll be good at it. Man, that little riff right there in that salsa song made me think of one of Bad Bunny's songs.
Mm. That's funny. Not surprising. Are you curious which one?
That's hiding in his outhouse.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
So Alex is gonna be whipping people's ass.
What'd you say?
Alex is scared tree, he's gonna be whipping people's ass.
I'm going to be using rocks for the duration of our campaign. I can't wait to see what transpires in this developing situation. I really like everyone's character design so far.
Yeah, me too.
Oh boy. Those beans are filling.
They are.
Bro, you saved my life.
How did the mic work, Jazz?
It's doing good.
Cool. I heard you do a little test of it, or saying I meant to ask about when I got.
I had a high moment because I was like, I was stopped and tried to check it out. And I'm like, I can't hear nothing. It's not working or something. I don't know what's going on. And my volume was turned up.
That'll do.
So how it is. Yeah, it's working.
The cherry lemonade, like
Yeah. God damn.
1/4 cherry lemonade, cut and tea the rest of the way. Oh, that's delicious.
That's what I do.
That's.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what kind of Palmer.
I
that is,
seen
but
you do it.
It's a fucking,
That wasn't my idea.
Laura Palmer.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm going to give mercy to the food for a little bit before I go back and take her.
By the way, the halflings invented salsa. Did I tell you this already?
Yeah, I heard you talking about it, yeah. Are they here? Or in this place?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Is there like an amphitheater here?
You know, I don't think there is.
Excuse me? Oh, wait.
They could do.
Oh, well.
You could easily do a concert in the town school. I bet that has happened before.
Move this over here. That way I can get at her.
No, I bet you. other places. I bet you there might be one around out. I have not actually drawn out
So-
Arbishal to nearly this level.
Around here, I'll gotcha.
Arbishal is very like loose in my head, but
It would have something like that, probably.
that would be I would love that. That's a cool idea.
No, that was me.
Splitting Cedars Union House.
Mhm.
Splitting Cedar, the is that like the spit and swallow of this place?
I don't know what the spit and swallow is, but no, it's the lumber workers.
Okay. Dude, the fucking lumberyard's huge.
Yeah, it's fucking massive.
Where's it at?
It's down here.
Holy cheese.
Yeah, no, the lumber
The
mill.
mill is massive. I mean,
So do they export the wood via the river barges and stuff?
they used to. They do most of it with the freighter lines now.
Okay.
It's faster. That was like what this was originally founded though. They would float them, they'd barge them down the river.
Yep. Just chuck them in the water.
Yep, that's what they did. They farmed a lot of the timberland up in like the northwest, and they would do that until the freighter lines, and they could go for much bigger forest stretches.
Have you seen Obsidian before? This is how I've taken all of my like D&D notes for like the old campaign and populated them into here. So basically, there's a bunch. If we go out to the graph view, these are all the different things. Let me go ahead and turn off orphans real quick. So I have all spells and items like put in here for the new book. So if we hover over that, that's this man's platinum shield. Over here is the ring of free action and stuff like that.
Ring of Free Action's awesome.
If you turn these off and just look at this stuff, the big collection over here is like all the spells in the game, and then over here is like stuff for Thambrasil, Maximilian, different player characters, like the index for the whole place, and you can like click on any of them, and you can just navigate and be able to check out all your shit. You can link it all together. So I can go from the Theoden index to Thambrasil, and then from Thambrasil I can scroll. Oh, who's Rexus Icecrest? And then you can go and you find out, oh, it's the Blade of Thambrasil, and he's the twin brother of Lena Icecrest. Well, who's that? You click on Lena. Well, she's the leader of the Icecrest Council. What's that? And you click it, and you can just navigate. It's basically like a Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But this isn't super fleshed out for like the old stuff. I haven't gone through and like put a lot of stuff in there. What I've been working on is, I do have a lot of stuff put in there, but I haven't been like fleshing it out properly. Over here, Clank, that's my little character sheet, and here's his like little backstory. I haven't linked to like his town, and I have all like pertinent information tagged in here. Some of them I haven't filled out just yet, so they're like somewhat dim. If you click on it, it'll create a document for that person. So all you got to do is like double tap, and you're making a link, and then say D's nuts, right? And now there's a link for D's nuts. There's nothing there, but if you click it, you'll go to a document for D's nuts.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. But this I have a canvas set up where I have a quick reference for all the cleric spells, all my current prepared spells, my inventory. I have Clink's character sheet and his whole like info doc, and I also have his religion pulled up right here. We plugged in, son.
Awesome.
We ready to throw down?
Are we ready?